The story of a boy who had two fathers, one rich, one poor. The boy wanted to be rich, so he followed after the rich one, even though it wasn't his real dad. It was his best friend's dad, who was the rich one. The boy found out each dad had opposite beliefs about money. His poor dad believed you have to go to school, get good grades to get into college, so that you can graduate, and then get a job to earn a living. But his rich dad said, instead of having to work for money for the rest of your life, it was better to work for something called assets. The boy went home excited, even though he didn't understand what assets meant, but that he was starting to learn. And because he was a curious boy, the next day at school, he asked his teacher, "When are we going to learn about money?" The teacher, upset by the question, responded by saying, "We don't teach money at school." The boy realized he won't learn anything about money from school. So he went back to his rich dad to find out what this asset thing was. Rich dad said, "That's a good question, because you need to know the difference between something called assets and liabilities. Assets puts money in your pocket. Liabilities takes money from your pocket." The boy was thinking about what that meant, and so Rich Dad explained further with examples. Assets are things like this store you shop in, which are retail businesses. Some houses people sleep in are rented, which are real estate businesses. The boy didn't understand completely, but knew he wanted to learn more about these businesses. The boy didn't like school because they taught boring subjects and just wanted you to memorize the lectures or textbooks. The boy saw that his poor dad worked really hard, but their family wasn't as rich as the other kids. What was the difference? He asked Rich Dad. Rich Dad said, "You can't get rich by working hard for others. The way to get rich is by working for your own business." The boy wanted what the rich kids had, the brand new toys, the latest games, envious and determined. He wanted to learn more, so he asked Rich Dad, "How else can I become rich fast?" Rich Dad explained, "Well, you need to know about taxes." "What's that?" asked the boy. "Taxes is money taken by the government for things the public needs, like roads and firefighters." The boy asked, "Okay, but what does that have to do with being rich?" Rich Dad answered, "Because the rich pay less taxes than others." "What? Why?" asked the boy. "Shouldn't they pay more?" "Because the rich have those assets made of businesses that get to subtract many things and only pay tax on what's left over. Everyone else pays tax first, and then whatever is left over they can use to spend on food, toys, etc." One day he then ran over to his rich dad, saying, "My dad said, business is risky, so you need a safe, secure job." Rich Dad says, yes, business can be risky, but it's the opportunity that business provides that creates value. The boy knew which path he wanted to take, so he asked Rich Dad to teach him everything about money. Rich Dad said, "You can start by cleaning up this business." The boy cleaned and walked away with a few pocket change handed by Rich Dad. After the boy got to play the board game Monopoly with his rich dad, and having so much fun, he lost track of time. Coming home late for dinner, his dad, upset, asked him, "Where have you been?" Dirty from cleaning, he answered, "I was cleaning the shop." His dad, less angry, asked, "So how much did you get from cleaning today?" The boy emptied his pockets to show the change. Furious, his dad said, "That's horrible child labor." The boy went back to Rich Dad and said, "My dad said you need to pay me more money for cleaning your shop." Rich Dad chuckled and said, "Boy, if you want to be rich, you need to work to learn." He continued on to explain, "By working to learn instead of earn, you'll never become a slave to a job or money." The boy wanted to learn more than making money, so he continued on his journey with Rich Dad. What do you think happened after that? Did the boy finally become rich? The boy became so rich that he decided to share these lessons to the world, including you. This was just a taste of the riches taught in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. A short summary cannot do it justice. It's the book that changed our lives and fuels us to continue recommending it to everyone we care about, and we care about you. So go out and buy the book so that you too can have your own Rich Dad. Link to where you can buy the book on Amazon below in the description and pinned comments. Make sure to subscribe to learn more about books we recommend for your financial freedom journey.